Okie dokie. I want to summarize my findings, some of my findings that I've discovered while playing PTR on February 26th, 2021, to give advice to those that will be playing Season 23 of Diablo 3. And first of all, I would like to say that Season 23 is going to be very interesting because patch 2.7.0 introduced a large mercenary overhaul, and playing with it is quite fun. One of the important things to note is that a mercenary now has 14 item slots, I believe. No, it's not all bleeding, but let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So, Mercenary has 14 item slots, and a new feature that is introduced in 2.7.0 is called Emanate. Emanate is indicated by a property, or by the property of the legendary item that is equipped on a mercenary. What Emanate means is that your the item that has Emanate can be equipped on a mercenary, and you will have that property as part of your character. So there are many items that have Emanate, and you can find them in patch notes 2.7.0, which will be below the video. As far as the mercenary setup goes, this is one of the setups that you can do. I will show a few of the items. You can take a look at all of the items in the patch notes and see how you want to arrange your mercenary. I want to mention a few things that are important to designing your mercenary setup. First thing that I want to mention is the fact that Ring of Royal Grandeur does work on the mercenary. When you have that equipped, you will have all 3 set pieces from the Sage's Journey set active and from Kane's set active. That being said, I would like you to pay attention to the fact that the word emanate is only highlighted by the 3rd set property of the Kane set and the Sage's set. Meaning, only the 3rd property is the one that you get as a character. A simple way to confirm that is to look at your character sheet and clearly see that you do not have the dexterity and intelligence bonus. For example, in the case of a barbarian, if you're playing as a barbarian and you have Cormac as your mercenary and you have the Sage's set equipped, the first 2-piece Sage's bonus does not transfer. Otherwise, you would have more dexterity and intelligence. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, you might have gotten that confused. And also, it would make this particular setup really, really strong. Now, maybe it will be overhauled as far as how the mercenaries function. Maybe. But at this point in time, only a few of the properties that you get are active. This setup is only one of the setups that is possible to do. I've chosen that one for a solo play because, well, it yields a lot of benefit. So you get 2 of the set bonuses, one from Kane's set, which gives you more keystones from the Guardian, and the second one is from Sage's Journey, which gives you more death breath. As far as the items that you can equip, I would say that the best ones are the following, or at least the top 3, right? For the amulet, Flavor of Time is definitely top 1. Pylons are going to be active for twice as long. Pylons and shrines are different. Pylons are the big power-up structures that you see in greater rifts that give you damage boost or cooldown reduction, stuff like that. For bracers, it's Nemesis bracers, obviously very, very strong. You can have another one which makes it so that the monsters drop gold when you hit them, but it's not nearly as strong as Nemesis. For the ring, Oculus Ring is really, really strong, really popular. So you should have that equipped. Gloves of Worship. Gloves of Worship are very useful for rift farming, and I will show the setup that you can do for death breath slash keystone farming session. For the shoulders, you should select homing pads, and this is because that will basically allow you to teleport unhindered, which is very, very useful, and you also get damage reduction. Something that's important to note, let's say you're riding a greater rift and you know that your survivability is getting lower, or you're like about to die, or it's getting dicey, you can press the T button and you will start to teleport to town, and you get 60% damage reduction. So you might inch out, or rather you can get that 60% damage reduction for a few seconds, and that can be enough, and it could make a difference between you living and dying in a greater rift. In some situations. It's rare, but it's possible. For the weapon for the Mercenary, I'd say Thunder Fury is really, really good because it stuns the enemy. Also, Freeze of Deflection, that shield is what you should use for the Mercenary if Cormac is your Mercenary of choice. What I will also mention is that I have tried running with the Ashira set. So if you're running as a barbarian and you use Immortal King set plus the Ashira set, you can get both of those sets fully active. The problem with the Ashira set is this. First of all, the properties that you get are way too weak. You are way too squishy. The fact that you do not have all 3 mercenaries at a time, it basically kind of nullifies it. It's not worth it to use that set. I've tried playing with it, and something to note is that what I've tried to do is to stack the Kane's set and the Sage's set to see if I could get, because if you read the 3 set piece, it clearly states double the amount of death breath that can drop. And I've had that stacked on every one of the mercenaries. So I thought that if I get a Shira set activated and then kill a mob, that will double and then double and then double the amount of death breath that drop. Unfortunately, stacking the Sage's Journey set on all 3 of your mercenaries does not work. So that description of the 3 set piece bonus is wrong, because once the Ashira's 4 set piece bonus is active, you have all 3 mercenaries following you, and all 3 set piece bonuses should be active, but they are not. So this is a mistake. This is a bug, and I don't know if it will be fixed. Now, the reason why I say it's a bug is because if the 3 set piece bonus stated something like this, double the amount of death breath that would drop based on the original amount, then it would not be a bug. But because it simply says double that, then I thought you could stack it, but you can't. What I also tried testing is I tried equipping the mercenaries with something besides the immortality token, or what does the Cormac have? Cormac has Templar Relic, right? So there's special mercenary item. I tried equipping the mercenary with that to see if I can get them to be useful on Torment, and they're not even useful on Torment 16. They basically die. And that means that even if Ashira's set becomes active, it's not going to be useful on Torment 16, let alone in greater rifts beyond Torment 16. So the question is, how do we make this set endgame viable? And here are my suggestions on how to make this endgame viable. Suggestion 1. Your second set bonus, your first set bonus, I mean, should be you gain all of your followers permanently. You have them, and they don't die. Right? So you do that. Your second set piece bonus, so when you have 3 of those pieces equipped, should be damage reduction and a little bit of a damage boost. You need to have a lot of damage reduction so that you're not as squishy. Maybe something like gain 20% damage reduction for every follower that you have, or every mercenary that you have, and maybe gain 10% damage increase. Yeah, like 20% damage reduction and 10% damage increase for every follower that you have. And the last set piece bonus, I think, should be that your mercenaries have effects of all 3 of their special items, so that they can't die. There's a cooldown reduction on their abilities, and they gain access to all skills. That would be possibly that would possibly make it worth your while to have that equipped, and you could have that as an end game set somehow. Now there is a restriction here because Ashira's set it competes with other item slots. So I think if Ashira's set gets a bracers as an item slot, that would help mitigate that. And if it gets a belt as an item slot, then it would make it a lot more flexible. So I'll reiterate. First set item bonus should be that your followers are always with you and they don't die. Second is that you get damage reduction and maybe a little bit of a damage boost. The emphasis should be on the damage reduction so that you don't die as much, right? Because you get really squishy. And the last set piece bonus should be that all of your followers gain all of their special item bonuses. Because that, given the rework that was done, I think it would really, really help out. We obviously can have some of the items change and have more emanate properties, which would further boost your character and the group performance, so we don't need to be too hasty with that. I'll reiterate once more that damage reduction is the biggest hurdle here. So I made this build which has full Immortal King, it has the Endless Walk set, and the full Ashira set. And it's pretty fun to play. You can play it on Torment 16. So I got the Bracers of Destruction and Fury of the Vanquished Peak to have a decent amount of damage on the Seismic Slam scale, and I have the damage reduction with the Pride of Cassius. And Ring of Royal Grandeur to enable me to use IK and the Ashira set. So the way that you would play before I say that, let me just say this, that some of the other options you can have for your mercenaries that would be really useful is the Avarice Band and Unity, if that is if the changes that I proposed are active, and we can have one person in the party with the mercenaries active and they have Unity on each mercenary, then that would give a lot more damage reduction to the group. Another option is to have Dovu's Energy Trap on. So if you have all of your mercenaries active and then you put on this amulet on, let's say, your Linden, he will be able to give more benefit, right? So that's my thoughts on Ashira's set and what needs to be done with the Ashira set and how to make it end game viable. It would certainly work.
Don't take that tankar with you. We'll put you to sleep a little.
Lyndon, you're interrupting. Okay. So how do you do a run with Ashira's set and the Immortal King set? You basically take the Bovine Bardish. You have to find it first, but you get it, and then you open up not the cow level through the Kanai's Cube. Then you gather up all of the shrines, and because this has the Emanate property, you will be able to accumulate all of the shrines properties and then start running your regular rifts. Alright, so let's do that. See how that pans out.
I can't.
As a showcase, right?
I need fury. Your flesh. Not enough fury. Impossible.
There's one. I'll actually just skip the chest, right? This is PTR. I don't really care about gathering too much loot, but I do want to enable all of the shrines.
I can't.
Just to show how it works. Keep in mind that while on PTR, you get a huge magic find bonus, so the regular gameplay wouldn't feel this way. Okay. So we get 2 shrines.
No way. You cannot stand before me.
There's another shrine.
I can't. No way.
There's another one.
I will not be denied.
There's another one. And is that all of them? I think it's all of them. I think it is. Maybe I'm wrong. How many? 4?
The ancient smile.
Yeah, damage reduction, speed, cooldown. I think there is one more, which is the magic find.
Impossible.
But regardless, let's say you go to not the cow level, and then you gather up all of these shrines. You get. Actually, let's take a look here. Movement speed is doubled. Cooldown. Where is the cooldown? 70. Yeah, cooldown is like 73%. It's a lot. Attack rate is greatly increased. Yeah, it's like 20% more cooldown, and damage reduction. A lot of damage reduction. So this is how you set up your Greater Rift run. And I hope that this little guide will help the newcomers with Season 23 and they enjoy trying out the Mercenaries. And if you like what you've seen, click the follow button or subscribe button depending on where you're watching. And once again, the PTR notes are below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon, and hopefully we'll talk about stuff in the chat.